Welcome back, everybody. Okay, springtime in Colorado. That means beautiful flowers blooming, the warmer weather of apparently the smoke in the air, all those things, but those birds chirping too, so huge here in Colorado. But believe it or not, those birds chirping right now is a great time to study those birds that have been chirping, and that's why we welcome Carl Brumert from the Denver Audubon. Carl, it's so good to have you here. It's always so great to learn more about those birds that we hear chirping during our springtime.
Yes, well, It's great to be here as always.
Yes, okay, so let's talk about this. First of all, let's talk about bird banding. That's what we're doing right now during the season, right?
Yes, yeah, so we do this, it's an activity, a research activity we do with Bird Conservancy of the Rockies.
Okay.
They bring their wildlife biologists to our nature center down at Chatfield, and we have school groups that come out and the public that can come out and see it. And I'll do a little demonstration to show you, what they do, what the banding actually is.
Yeah.
It's a little metal band they put on the bird's leg, and so I'll do a little demonstration of that.
Yeah, so what exactly is banding? What does it do to help you guys study these birds?
So it's a way to study, and it's, there's some newer things coming along, but right now banding's been around for many, many years, and it's a way to study the migration patterns of the birds, but also to gather data about their health or about their age or how long they survive. So they gather a bunch of different information about the birds.
Okay, I would love for you to do this demo.
Okay,
this
all right.
is so interesting to me.
So the bands are really tiny.
Okay.
Hopefully you can see this. I don't know if you can see them. And people ask if the birds get hurt.
Yeah.
But so you see the special pliers that has these holes.
Yes.
So that we don't clamp the band completely around the bird's leg.
Sure. Okay.
And injure it. Whoops. Of course. Hopefully I can do this.
It's always when you're trying to show.
I know. Yeah. Exactly. So and they gently hold the bird very gently.
Okay.
And they put the band on its leg.
Oh wow.
And well, the pliers are supposed to clamp it on there.
Easily clamp it though.
Clamp it on there, so this little band is on its leg, and there's a number on the band.
Okay.
And so that number is put in a database, and then they can track that bird. If it's the bird has to be caught again, somewhere else, or at our banding station again.
Okay.
And there's some birds at our station that have been caught 10 years in a row. A little tiny bird that migrates 1,000 miles every spring and fall.
Yeah.
And it's 10 years old, so that's pretty amazing.
That is pretty incredible. And I know you guys use these nets too. Can you tell me about the nets that you use?
Yes, sure. So the nets they're very fine mist nets. They put them up between two poles.
Okay.
And you can't see them. They're about 8 feet high, and they're very hard to see. Very soft material, and the birds don't see it either, so they fly into the net.
Okay.
And then the scientists or volunteers gently take the birds out and bring them back to our banding station, which is a table where they collect all this information. They take measurements, wing size, and they record. They put the band on its leg, and then they weigh the bird.
Okay.
So they just gather all this information from the bird, and we do it for the public, for school groups, and so people get to see the birds, in hand and up close, and it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah, well, and I want to reiterate to our viewers, I mean, this is, again, even the nets themselves, not anything that can harm the bird.
No,
Yeah.
they're specific, and if there's any reason the scientist thinks that the bird might be stressed, they'll let the bird go.
Yeah.
We definitely don't do it when it's cold or it's raining, because that can injure the birds too, so they're very careful about how they do this, and it's a great way for us to learn about bird populations and migrations.
Well, I was going to ask too, I mean, over the years, have you found some pretty significant data from doing this kind of banding?
Well, like I said, yes, there is one bird that's called a yellow warbler.
Okay.
And it's a bird that migrates to Central America every spring, or from Central America every spring, and goes back in the fall. And it's about 1,000 miles, and they have found that this bird that we've caught every year was living to be 10 years old.
Wow.
Which is amazing. And they're also starting to find out, some of the migration patterns of the birds.
Yes.
And if the bird's, banded in Costa Rica, and then we catch it here, we know, okay, well, that's where the birds are coming from, and we get better data about that. So.
Well, and you did mention that people can come out and watch this happening, right? That's amazing. So for the people that are coming out to learn more about this, I mean, is this pretty fascinating? Have you heard from a lot of people coming out and saying, wow?
Everybody that comes out to the bird banding loves it. They fall in love with it, and it's so neat too. At the end, they also have people put their hands out, and they put the bird in their hand like that, and you see a 6-year-old with this bright smile on their face, and you see an 80-year-old with the same smile.
Right. Oh my gosh, you're learning so much, and I'm sure too, especially as people are bird enthusiasts coming out, being able to see maybe the birds that they wouldn't have been able to see otherwise can be really fascinating for them too, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's so many different. I have these little fuzzy birds here. These are two warblers that you can find.
Oh my gosh.
That they catch in the nets, and people, this bird is called a common yellowthroat.
Okay.
And it's not a bird people see too often, but when they see it at the banding station, it is. People think of just robins or blackbirds, but there's so many birds out here that we can see. So
oh my
it is
gosh.
great.
Well, Carl, we so appreciate the research you guys are doing because it is something that is so fascinating and teaches us so much about the birds that we have just right here in Colorado.
Yes.
So thank you so much for what you're doing.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, guys, this is so fascinating, of course. Thank you so much, Carl. And for more on the bird banding and other events going on at the Denver Audubon, all you have to do is check out denveraudubon.org.